So you are taking my virginity, as it were, so I hope you'll be a tender and gentle lover tonight. I'd just like to start off by saying thank you to both sets of parents, Ray and Susan and Tommy, for breeding such fine children and also arranging this fantastic event. Particularly on behalf of the Brits, we'd like to thank you for arranging the accommodation for us. I've been lobbying Nathan. We've all been lobbying Nathan and Kylie to renew their vows, preferably maybe every 6 months. So we can come back here. But I guess a few of you here today will have only met Nathan for the first time today or in the last few days. And you're probably thinking to yourselves, who are these rampaging Brits who come here, stealing our women, carting them overseas, modern-day Vikings? So I guess it's part of my role to try and convince you that Nathan's a great guy and he is, and Kylie has got herself a keeper in Nathan. And so I suppose in addressing that question, the best way for me to answer that, tell you why he's such a great guy, is just tell you why he's a great friend to me. And Nick and Joe, we were talking about it when we were driving up here from New Orleans and why we think he's a great guy. One thing that stands out, and you may have noticed this if you're in Wild Wings on Thursday night, is that he's a lot of fun. He's great fun, and he has been for the 17 years I've known him. But more than that, he's a very kind man, and he is also someone with a great ability to see the best in people. In all the years I've known him, I've never met anyone who has taken a dislike to him, which is quite impressive, I think, really. And most people, in fact, I always hear these tiresome stories. Oh, your mate Nathan's great. You're not so good, but I like him. So that's two of the reasons. For me personally, what I think I really value about Nathan is he's a great listener. He's probably the best listener I know, actually, and he's someone I have come to and continue to come to whenever I've got a problem, and he'll listen to me and he'll hear me out and he won't judge and he'll give good advice, and I really value that, and it's been the basis of a great friendship, particularly in the last couple of years, and I'm sure it'll be the basis of a fantastic marriage going forward. But anyway, enough of that mushy stuff. It's tradition in England to spend a good part of the speech making fun of the group. So this section is the more Anglophile section. Now, I could kind of regale you with various stories about how Nathan's first girlfriend was called Sweaty Betty. Or the fact that he nearly got kicked out of high school. Or the fact that one music festival, he found a doctor's coat inexplicably and set up Dr. Leong's love surgery. Can remind the audience, Nathan, how many patients you had?
0 check-ins.
For those of you at the back, that was 0. Sadly, the surgery was unwound. But I think that the main thing about Nathan that I've always found, and those of you who know him will agree with this, is that he is the most indecisive man. I'll call him on a Friday night and say, do you want to get a beer after work? Seemingly a bit of a no-brainer. And he'll kind of be like, oh man, I don't know, I might go for a cigarette, and can I call you back? And then he'll call me back and be like, oh, I might have a shower first, and I'm thinking about eating some food, but I'm not definite at the moment. On and on, after all to him. And just to give you to really exemplify this trait in him, is this tie that I'm wearing here today. Now, as I say, the parents have arranged a great event today, and Nathan was given one little job in this whole grand operation, and that was to pick the colour of his tie and the groomsman's tie. Now, initially, he decided that he would like to wear a skinny black tie, and that was not because he was coming straight from a funeral, but because, and I quote him, these are his words in an email he wrote to me: "The key reason for this is narcissism. I think I look pretty hot in a skinny black tie." But then he wasn't quite sure whether everyone else should wear a skinny black tie. So he sent a large message round on Facebook to all the groomsmen. And there was ensuing a lot of debate, but a lot of constructive feedback. Very helpful comments that came through. But sadly, Nathan felt the counsel of some of his closest friends wasn't enough for this monumental decision. So he decided he needed professional, independent advice. And so sought the advice of a tailor, who just said, just get purple, it's not a big deal. So he thought, yeah, purple's good. But he didn't, obviously this was a huge decision. He couldn't just go ahead and buy purple ties there and then. So he went away, thought about it for a while, came back to the shop, and then all of a sudden, when the panic of actually buying the ties came upon him, he did a U-turn, a flip-flop, the John Kerry of our generation. Ended up buying 12 silver ties. He took these round to our friend's house, and he said, what do you think of the silver ties? And he was like, yeah, they're fine, they're great. And it seemed that we'd finally reached a resolution. But all was not well for Nathan. He went home that night and he went to sleep, with these various thoughts whirring his head. Thoughts of blue ties, purple ties, silver ties, green ties, red ties, skinny black ties, skinny or wide ties. It was a torturous time for him. And he woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning in a cold sweat and realised he'd made a big mistake. He actually wanted the purple ties, I think. So he returned these ties to the shop and got the purple ones instead. And so, as it was, we had the skinny black tie for him, just to remind you all of the slightly torturous route, I know. So we had the skinny black tie for him, and then the purple ties for the rest of us, as you may all have picked up. However, some of the more astute of you may have noticed that Nathan's actually wearing a purple tie. Now, I went round to Nathan's house earlier on today just to see how he's doing and get the ties. And I said to Nathan, how's everything going? And he said, I need your help, your advice as a friend. And he took me aside and he said, I'm having second thoughts. I said, what are you talking about? Kylie's a great girl. She can keep it. I said, leave it out of your league. You should probably lock her in on. He was like, no, not Kylie. The ties. I don't know. Eventually, he has mum to help him. So, but jokes aside, I think Nathan's indecision in life generally just goes to show, though, what a perfect match Kylie and Nathan are, because even Nathan, as I say, the most indecisive man in our country, even he recognised that it was a great decision to get married to Kylie and recognised what a great girl she is. And on that note, I would like to propose a toast once again.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the following
Well done.
Okay, cheers.
The best part is to the audience that doesn't know, they might think you're exaggerating, but you're not at all.